Hello. So, resume tayo ng ating solution sa MD. So, the energy of recoil of a rocket launcher of mass 4536 kg is absorbed in a recoil spring. So, at the end of the recoil daw, a damping dashpot engages so that the launcher returns to the firing position without any oscillation, critical damping. The launcher recoils 3 meters with an initial speed of 12 meters per second. Compute the recoil spring constant. So ito, madali lang approach yung mga gantong problem. No? So nakita natin spring. So formula ng spring tayo. So titingnan, pagbabasehan natin sa given, no? Meron tayong weight. So may deflection. So yung deflection natin itong 3 meters. So yung recoil deflection yan. Then meron tayong, ano pa ba meron dito? So, hinahanap natin yung spring constant K. So, madali lang siya, guys. Di ba may formula tayong weight times deflection is equals to 1/2 K deflection squared. So, yan ang gagamitin natin. Then, substitute na para makuha natin yung weight. So, 4536 kg times 9.81 para maging weight, para maging Newton. Then, times deflection na Newton times 3 meters na deflection. Then, so, equals 1/2 then K times deflection na 3 squared. So, meter squared. So, magiging unit nito guys is Newton per meter. So, ang K natin dito is, ilan yung K natin dito guys? So, calcu. Times 9.81 times 3 is equals to 1/2 alpha x times 3 squared. So, shift solve natin. So, 29,665.44. So, 29,665.44 Newton per meter. So, since kilonewton, so equal siya sa 29.665. So, kilonewton per meter. So, the closest answer dito, guys, is ito, 30.5. So, yan yung pinaka-closest answer. So, 30.5 kilonewton per meter. So, next tayo. 52. A helical coil spring has a mean coil diameter of 1 and wire diameter of 1/10. Determine the curve correction factor of the spring. So, guys, ang curve correction factor, so, curve correction factor is equals to wall stress factor divided by direct shear factor. So, ano ba yung wall stress factor? So, 4C minus 1 over 4C minus 4 plus 0.615 over C over yung stress factor or direct shear factor 1 plus 1 over 2C. So, yan yung direct shear factor. So, ilan ba yung C natin? So, ang C natin is mean diameter over wire diameter. So, ilan ba yung mean diameter natin? 1. Then, wire diameter is 1 over 10. So, therefore, ang C natin is 10. So, yun yung isasalpak natin dito. So, pag sinalpak natin yan, makukuha natin curve correction factor 1.0903. So, tatandaan nyo, no? Ang curve correction factor is ratio lang ng wall stress factor at direct shear factor. So, next, 53. An 18-tooth straight spar gear transmits a torque of 1,200. The pitch circle diameter is 19 and the pressure angle is 14.5 degrees yan. What is the radial force on the gear? So, nanat natin radial force. So, para makuha natin, di ba meron tayong formula? Torque is equals to force times radius. So, meron tayong torque dito, 1,200 Newton to mm. Then, hinahanap natin yung force. Yan yung radial force. Times radius. So, 19 divided by 2 para maging radius. So, So, mm. So, maka-answer si mm. So, very simple problem. 126.32 Newton. So guys, dapat pag nagsasagot kayo ng mga, lalo na dito sa machine design, dahil medyo intimidating yung mga tanong dito eh. So pagkabasa mo lang, dapat huwag ka matatakot sagutan. So confidence lang. So maging confident ka lang sa pagsasagot mo. Yun sigurado mas madali na, mas masasagutan mo ng maayos yung mga questions dito at hindi ka matatakot na sagutan. So basta ano, alam lang natin yung mga formulas sa machine design. So kabisaduhin natin palagi. Lagi natin gamitin sa mga problems, solve, especially sa machine design, puro solving. So, yun, para mas ma-master natin. So, sigurado sa board exam kapag nagsimula na kayo magsagot. So, tapos nakukuha yung sagot. So, magsisimula na, mag-enjoy na kayo sa pagsagot diyan dahil every problem nakukuha nyo kagad yung sagot. So, minsan kalkyo na lang. So, sigurado yan, makukuha nyo na yung momentum nyo. Then, pagkatapos ng mismong board exam, magiging confident kayo sa results. So, next, 54. When a coil spring with a spring scale of 100 pounds per inch is compressed 1 1/4 inches, the coils are closed. The allowable shearing stress is 50,000 psi and the spring index is 8. So, the ends are squared and ground. And G is equals to 12 times 10 raised to 6 psi. So dito, calculate the coil diameter. So hinahanap natin dito guys yung coil diameter, no? So, or wire diameter. Coil diameter is the same lang as wire diameter. So, stress ng spring, it sa KFC, may pi D2. So, D dyan diameter ng wire. So, ang stress natin dito is 50,000 PSI, so pounds per inches squared. Then yung K natin is 4. So kunin muna pala natin yung K, 4C minus 1 over 4C minus 4 plus 0.615 over C. So kunin muna natin si C. So si C, mean diameter over diameter ng wire. So ilan ba yan? Oh, may given na pala tayo yan. Given na natin is 8, spring index. So spring index is 8 na kagad. So 8. So ang key natin dyan, makukuha natin pag sinubstitute natin 8 dyan is, ilan ba? Ilan ba guys? So 8 store sa C para 4C minus 1 over 4C minus 4 plus 0.615 over C. So 1.184. So substitute lang natin dito. So equals to 8, 1.184 times force natin na. So ilan yung force natin guys dito? So ang force natin, since meron tayong given na spring scale, so K is equals to force over deflection. So makuha natin si force is force. So K is equals to, ang K natin is 100 pounds per inch. Then ang deflection natin is 1 1/4 or 1 point. So 1 1/4 inch. So maka-cancel ang inch dito. So force natin dito is, so 1 1/4 is 1.25 yan, no? So 1 1/4 is 1.25 times 100 is 125 pounds. So substitute natin dito, 125 pounds. Then times C na, 8 divided by pi times diameter ng wire squared. So makukuha natin sa diameter ng wire dito. So by shift solve, makukuha natin diameter ng wire is 0.246 inches. So the answer is letter D. So ang daming spring problems, no, dito sa board exam. So next, 55. A pair of mating spar gears have 14.5 degree full depth involute tip out. So ito. So, bali, itong question na to, ladder problem, no? Iba-iba yung tinatanong kanina, yung outside diameter. So, addendum. So, maraming tinatanong dito. So, dito naman sa problem na to, tinatanong is root diameter of the pinion. So, root diameter ng pinion, dr is equals to diameter minus 2 times dedendum. So, yan yung formula ng root diameter. So, makikita niya, alam natin yan sa formula ng gears, no? So, yung root diameter. So, equals, so ilan yung diameter natin? So, 6.4 minus 2. So, ilan ba yung dedendum natin? So, dedendum kasi is, since 14.5 degree pressure angle, so ang formula niya is 1.157 over diametral pitch. So, substitute natin dito, 1.157 over diametral pitch natin na 2 and 1/2 or 2.5. So, makuha natin dito is 5.474 inches. So, the answer is letter A. So, next, 56. If a 65 cm diameter steel flywheel of constant thickness is used, how thick should it be? The specific gravity of steel is 7.85. The inertia of flywheel is 18.31 kilogram to meter squared. So, formula natin ng flywheel. So, ano ba formula natin? Di ba? I or kinetic energy. So, ilan ba? So, I pala natin is equals to 1/2 mr squared. So, may formula tayong ganyan, no? Sa inertia, mass moment ng inertia na. Mass moment ng inertia. So, syempre, kunin muna natin dito si mass, guys. So, si I given 18.31 kilogram to meter squared is equals to 1/2 m times radius. So, ang radius natin ito, 0.65 meters divided by 2 para maging radius squared. So, meter squared. So, lalabas dito is in kilogram. So, mass is equal to, yung mass na lalabas dito, 346.7 so, kilograms. Then, para makuha natin yung thickness, so mass kasi is equals to density times volume. Where yung volume dito, guys, is area times thickness. So, ang area natin dito is pi over 4 times diameter squared. So, ganyan lang siya, guys. So, substitute na. So, mass is equals to density. So, ilan ba yung density? Ilan ba yung mass natin? 346.7. Wait. 346.7 kilogram. Then, yung density ng steel given 7.85 or 7,850. So, tinimes natin ng 1,000, no, para maging kilogram per meter cube na. So, since specific gravity siya, times 1,000 para maging density. So, times area. So, times pi over 4 times diameter. So, yung diameter natin, 0.65 times 0.65 squared meter squared. Then, times thickness. So, times thickness. So, dito natin makukuha yung thickness. So, thickness is equal to, so, yun yung makukuha natin ditong thickness, guys. So, thickness natin is ilan? So, tingnan natin. So, 346.7 7,850 times pi over 4 times 0.65 squared times alpha x. So, shift solve. So, 29,665.44. Bakit ang taas? Hindi, hindi ko pala na-shift solve yan. Loko-loko. 13 point, so 0.1331. So, 0.1331 1331. So, anong unit ito? Meters, no? Dahil maka-cancel dito yung kilogram, maka-cancel dito yung meter squared. Ito. So, meter na lang matitira dito. So, since thickness is equals to, in centimeter times 113.31 cm. So, nakagad yung sagot, guys. Letter D. So, next. Number 57. In double helical gears, the helix angle may be made up to. So, anong sagot sa 57? Letter D. Basta helix angle ng double helical gears always 45 degrees. The next, 58. So, a cutter is a 3-inch diameter high-speed steel plane or slab milling cutter with 8 teeth. The width of the cut is 2 inches. The depth of the cut is 0.062 inch and the cutting speed as given in the table is 85 feet per minute and the selected feed rate is 0.008 inch per tooth. What is the approximate feed rate of milling a piece of AISI 1040 steel having a hardness of 180 BHN? So, paano itong 58? So, dito simple lang to, no? Hinahanap lang dito yung feed rate. So, ang formula ng feed rate, F is equals or feed rate in velocity pala yan. Velocity is equals to FNT. So feed times RPM, speed in RPM times number of teeth. So syempre kukunin muna natin dito yung speed. So may given tayong cutting speed. So ito kasi velocity ng feed yan. Iba ang velocity ng feed sa cutting speed. So, meron tayo ditong cutting speed. So, V ng cutting is equals to pi dn. So, ilan ba yung cutting speed natin dito? So, cutting speed natin guys is 85 feet per minute. So, 85 feet per minute times 12 inches per foot per 1 foot. So, inches per minute na is equals to pi times diameter. Anong gagamitin natin diameter dito guys? So, ang gagamitin natin itong 3-inch diameter. So, 3-inch diameter. So, times n. So, maka-cancel si inch dito. So, matitira dito is revolution per minute. So, ang n na makuha natin dito, 108.225 revolution per minute. So, makuha natin yung feed rate. So, feed rate is equal to F. So, ilan yung feed natin? So, feed is 0.008 inch per tooth. 0.008 inch per tooth. Then, ang N natin, 108.225 revolution per minute. Then, ang teeth natin, so ilan yung teeth? So, 8 teeth. So, 8 teeth per revolution. So, makancel dito yung teeth. Makancel yung revolution, inches per minute matitira. So, ang sagot dito guys is 7 inch per minute. So, the answer is letter B. So, tandaan nyo, ibang value ng cutting speed sa feed rate. So, para sila ng unit inches per minute or para sila ng ano na velocity, no, ng unit. So, pero sa cutting speed, kadalasan yan feet per minute. Pero sa feed rate, kadalasan yan inches per minute. So, 59. Sevolute functions are used in calculating the form diameter of involute splines. What is the sevolute of 20 degrees? So, alam na natin sevolute, no? Na-discuss na natin to. So, sevolute theta is equals to 1 minus cosine ng theta minus involute theta. So, involute theta kasi is equals to tangent ng theta minus theta times pi over 180. So, salpak na natin para makuha yung sevolute theta. So, sevolute theta is equals to 1 over cosine ng, ilan yung theta natin dito? 20 degrees. Minus involute theta na ito. Ito yung involute theta. Tangent ng 20 degrees minus 20 times pi over 180. So kung isasalpak natin sa calculator, so ang sagot dito is 1.049274. So the answer is letter B. So 60, a pulley 24 inches diameter and keyed to a shaft A turning 360 RPM has belt connected to pulley 4, 36 inches in diameter or on another shaft B. Find the speed of the pulley 4. So ito, ang dali na naman ito, no? So N1D1 is equals to N2D2 lang. So tingnan mo na yung una, 24 inches diameter, salpak mo lang dito sa D1. Then 360 RPM, salpak mo lang, is equals to N2. So yun yung hinahanap. Then dito 36 inches. So makuha mo N2 dito is, so N2 240 RPM. So very easy guys. Then 61, a 1/8-inch fillet weld 1 inch long carries a steady load P lying along the weld. If the working stress in shear is taken as 11,300 psi, calculate the load it can carry. So 61. Paano tong 61 guys? So may formula tayo dito ng ano, 'di ba? Ng fillet weld. So na-share ko sa inyo sa discussion, no. Yung shear stress. So discussion natin to sa machine shop. Yung formula ng shear stress ng fillet weld. So load over square root ng 2 over 2 times thickness times length. So load to, no. What is load? So, shear stress natin is 11,300 PSI or pounds per inches squared is equals to load na. So, yun yung hinahanap natin si load. Divided by square root ng 2 over 2 thickness. So, ilan yung thickness natin dito? So, ang thickness natin is 1/8 inch. Then, ang length natin is 1 inch. So, the answer here, so P is equals to 998.8 or approximately 1,000 pounds of force. The answer is letter C. So next, 62. A double thread worm has a pitch diameter of 3 inches. The wheel has 22 teeth and a pitch diameter of 4, so or of 5. Find the gear helix angle. So ito lagi natin na-discuss tong 62, no? So, ang gear helix angle is equals to lead angle ng worm. So, tatandaan natin, no? Gear helix angle. So, ano yung G is equal to lead angle of worm. So, ang lead angle ng worm is, ay, baliktad. So, lead angle ng worm, para makuha natin, kung natin lead angle ng worm, so tangent ng lead angle ng worm is equals to lead over pi times square diameter. So, ang lead natin is N number of threads times pitch. So, tangent ng lead angle ng worm is equals to number of threads natin dito is 2. Double-threaded siya. Then, times pitch natin. So, wala tayong pitch, guys. So, si pitch, makukuha natin using pi d over teeth. Or pi d over teeth, no? Pwede natin makuha si pitch. So, pi d over teeth. So, pi times diameter na. So, ilan yung diameter natin? So, 5. So, diameter to ng gear, teeth ng gear. So, yun kasi yung available na, ano no, na may teeth. So, pi times diameter ng gear na 5 divided by teeth ng gear na 22. So, ilan to? Pitch natin dito is 0.714. So subject natin dito, 0.714 divided by pi times wire diameter or diameter ng worm 3 inches. So makuha natin itong worm lead angle which is 8.61 degrees. So ito rin yung equal sa lead angle ng or gear helix angle. So ito. So the answer is letter C. So next tayo, 63. So a solid transmission shaft is 3.5 inches diameter. It is desired to replace it with a hollow shaft of the same material and the same torsional strength, but its weight should only be half as much of the solid shaft. Find the difference of the outside and inside diameter of the hollow shaft in mm. So madali lang to, no? Using formula. So meron tayong shortcut formulas, no, for outside diameter, makukuha mo na. So 1 plus square root ng 2 over 2 diameter ng shaft or diameter ng solid shaft. So 1 plus square root ng 2 over 2. Ilan yung diameter ng solid shaft? 3.5. So makukuha natin outside diameter dito is 4.225 inches. So pag nakuha natin outside diameter, so using formula, so meron tayong formula na ganito, di ba? Naalala nyo to? DO fourth minus DI fourth is equals to DO. So DO DS cube or DS cube over DS cube DO na lang. So DS cube DO. So may ganyan tayong formula. So naalala niyo yan sa shaft natin. So ginagamit to kapag yung equal, the same torsional strength. So ito is, DO natin is 4.225 raised to 4 minus DI raised to 4 is equals to, DS natin is 3.5 raised to 3 times DO natin is 4.225. So ang DI natin dito guys, so by shift solve, makuha natin 3.424 inches. So makuha natin DO minus DI. So difference between outside and inside diameter is, so 4.225 minus 3.424 is equals to 0.8 inches. So times natin ng 25.4 mm per inch, per 1 inch. So makuha sa dito is 20.34 mm. So the answer is letter A. So next, 64. What is the length of the piece of stock with taper per inch on 3/16 if it has a diameter of 3 inches at one end and 1.5 inches at the other end? So taper per inch. So taper per inch. So TPI. Taper per inch. Ibig sabihin niya na. So ang taper per inch, difference between diameter, no? So difference between diameter. So D minus D divided by yung, so divided by length. So divided by length in inches. So taper per inch natin is 3/16. So is equal to diameter 3 inches minus 1.5 over length in inches. So makuha natin yung length is equals to 3 minus 1.5 divided by 3 over 16 is 8 inches. So the answer is letter C. So pag taper per foot naman, ang papalitan mo lang dyan, length na to magiging foot. So TPF naman yun. Pero pag TPI, taper per inch, so yung length dito is naka-inch. So gaya from the word nga taper per inch, then taper per foot. So yan. So next, 65. A steel pipe is to be used to support a weight of 130 kilonewton. The pipe has the following specifications: may outer diameter, inside diameter, area, so inertia. So meron tayong E, 210 GPa, yield stress. So hinahanap dito natin is critical load. So note, this is a cantilever column na may given na K is equals to 2. So alam natin yung formula ng critical load, no? So FC, meron tayong formula na to from shaft, sa topic natin sa shaft, no? Or sa topic natin sa shaft keys and couplings, meron tayong formula ng critical load. So sa columns to. So pi squared EI over LE squared, where LE natin, so ang LE natin dito is length times K. So critical load natin is 130,000 Newton is equals to pi squared. Then ang E natin is 210 times 10 raised to 3 para maging megapascal or Newton per mm squared. Then ang I natin, so ilan yung I? 1.7 times 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Then, ano pa ba? Yung LE natin, so length. So ilan yung length natin dito? So length, so yan pala yung hinahanap na, hindi. So dito sa problem na to guys, ang hinahanap dito is length. So ang hinahanap, find the length. So length times K natin na 2 squared. So makuha natin ditong length is naka-mm. Since maka-cancel to. So length natin dito is mm. So 130,000 pi squared times 210 times 10 raised to 3 times 1.7 times 10 raised to 6 divided by alpha x times 2 squared. So shift solve 2603.05. So 2603.05, 2603.05 mm. So para ma-convert into meters, so 2.6 meters. So the answer is letter A. So next tayo, problem number 66. So a 150 HP motor turns a shaft at 2,400 RPM. The shaft steps down in diameter from 3 to 2.5 inches. So calculate the maximum torsional shear stress. The stress concentration factor is given to be 1.3. So simple lang yung gagamitin nating formula dyan guys. So stress is equals to 16T over pi d cubed. So para maabot natin to maximum torsional shear stress, so maximum torsional shear stress, ang gagamitin nating diameter dito is diameter ng mas mababa. So yung 2.5 inches. So smaller diameter. So use smaller diameter. So to get maximum shear stress. So, yan yung ginagamit na. Use smaller diameter. D is equals to 2.5 inches. So, yan yung gagamitin natin dito. So, first of all, kunin muna natin si torque. So, si torque, makuha natin gamit yung power is equals to Tn over factor na 63,025. So, ang power natin dito is 150 is equals to torque times N natin 2,400 RPM divided by 63,025. So, makuha natin torque dito is 3939.0625 inches to pounds. Then yun yung substitute natin dito. So, ang maximum stress natin, ilan yung given? So, yun yung hinanap natin maximum stress, no? So, ito kasi, itong maximum stress, kailangan pa pala natin itong i-multiply ng 1.3. So, times stress concentration factor na 1.3. So, minumultiply natin yan para makuha yung maximum torsional strength. So, substitute na yung mga given. So, 16 times torque, 3939.0625 divided by pi. Diameter natin is 2.5 raised to 3 times 1.3. So, makuha natin yung maximum shear stress, 16770 PSI. So, very easy. So, next, 67. So, a multiple disc clutch consists of 10 steel discs and 9 bronze discs. The effective outside and inside diameter are 8 inches and 6 inches respectively. So, if an axial force of 122 pounds is applied and the shaft turns at 1000 RPM, so find the horsepower capacity. Assume a coefficient of friction of 0.35 and uniform wear of uniform wear. So, assume uniform wear. So, para uniform wear, ang mean radius natin na gagamitin is outside. So, outside diameter plus inside diameter divided by 4 for uniform wear. So, anong gagamitin natin formula? So, torque is equals to nagpa-farm NF a mean radius. So, ang N natin dito guys, so since kapag may number of steel discs plus number of bronze discs minus 1, yan yung N natin. So, 10 plus 9 minus 1. So, pag-add mo yan, minus mo ng 1, yan yung pagkuha ng N. Then, friction, 0.35 times axial force na 120 pounds times mean radius. So, outside diameter. So, ilan yung outside diameter? So, 8 plus 6 divided by 4. So, inches. So, pounds to inch na makuha natin dito. So, makuha natin torque is, so, ilan yung makuha natin torque dito guys? So, calculate natin. 19 minus 1 is 18 times 0.35 times 120 times 8 plus 6 over 4. So, 2646. 2646 pounds to inch. Then, makuha natin yung power. So, power is equals to Tn over factor na 63,025. So, is equals to 2646. So, times N natin in RPM. So, ilan yung RPM? 1,000 divided by 63,025. So, makuha natin dito guys is 42 HP. So, the answer is letter A. So, ganyan lang, no? So, ganyan lang lumalabas na clutch problems. So, 68. The motion of a shaft in a circular hole. So, guys, pag circular hole, ang sagot dyan is, so, ang sagot dyan, pag circular hole. So, sagot dyan is incompletely constrained. Then, which type of key is used for mounting shifting gears in gearboxes? So, sagot dito is splines. So, next, 70. So, a 60 kilogram motor sits on 4 cylindrical rubber blocks. So each cylinder has a height of 3 and a cross-sectional area of 15. The shear modulus for this rubber is 2. So if a sideway force of 300 Newton is applied to the motor, how far will it move sideways? So how far it will move, hinahanap dyan is deflection. So simple formula lang yan guys. So deflection is equals to FL over AE. So force natin is, so lang yung force natin dito guys. So 300 Newton. So 300 Newton. So F kasi natin na gagamitin dito is, syempre meron tayong sideway force na 300 Newton divided by 4 cylindrical blocks. So yung 4 dyan, 4 cylindrical blocks. So is it equals sa 300 divided by 4. So kay 300 divided by 4 na lagyan natin dyan. Then, so ilan yung length natin? So ang length natin is 3 cm. So yan yung length. So substitute na pala natin, no? So 300 divided by 4 Newton times length na 3 cm, divide natin ng 100 para maging meter, divided by area. So ang area natin dito guys is 15 square meters or 15 square centimeters. So 15 centimeter times 1 meter per 100 cm. So squared, naka-squared dapat yan. So cm squared kasi yan para ma-cancel. Then times E, which is 2 megapascal. So times 10 raised to 6. So para maging pascal. So ang pascal is Newton per meter squared. So para ma-cancel yung meter squared dito, so ma-cancel rin ang Newton, matitira dito is in meters. So matitira dito is in meters. So ang sagot dito guys is 0.075. So so i-convert pa pala natin to. So times 100 cm per 1 meter. So para maging 0.075 centimeters. So the answer is letter C. #71. So a 15 HP motor whose speed is 1,200 RPM is belt connected to the drive shaft of a machine. So the pulley A on the armature shaft of a motor is 12 inches in diameter, while that of drive shaft B is 30 inches in diameter. So hinanap natin dito yung torque in the armature shaft. So simple formula lang din 'to gagamitin natin, no? So power is equals to Tn over factor na 63025. So power natin is 15 HP, torque hinahanap, then N is 1,200 RPM divided by 63025. So makukuha natin torque dito is, so ilan? 788 inches to pounds. So easy. The answer is letter B. So next, 72. So the angle between the line of stroke and the normal to the pitch curve at any point is referred to as, so 72. So normal, basta nabasa yung normal to the pitch curve, pressure angle yan guys. So next, 73. A 2 feet inside diameter spherical vessel as a wall thickness of 3 inches. Compute for the tensile stress at its inner surface as caused by an internal pressure of 1,500 psi and an external pressure of 300 psi. So dito guys, pag trinay mo kasi yung formula ng ng tensile stress at the inner surface. So yung pwede natin i-try yun, no? So tensile stress at the inner surface, so is equals to So RO squared minus RI squared. So ito is RO squared or PI minus PO para dito sa taas. So PI minus PO. So since TI siya, so at inner surface, dito mo ilalagay yung RO squared plus RI squared. Then dito naman 2RO squared. So yan yung gagamitin nating formula. So ilan yung inside pressure? So ang inside pressure or internal pressure 1,500. Ang RO natin, so wala pala tayong RO dito. So meron tayong DI is equals to 2 feet is equals to 12 inches. So syempre ang RI natin is equals to, so RI is equals to 12 divided by 2 is equals to 6 inches. Then ang RO natin, RO kasi is equals to RI plus thickness. So 6 inches. So 6 inches plus 3 is equals to 9 inches. So 9 at saka 3. So may error tayo dito, no? Ito pala is 24 inches. Ay, kamali tayo. 24 inches to. 2 feet is equals to 24 inches. So 24 maging 12. So 12 plus 3 is equals to 15 inches. Try natin yan. 15 inches. So try natin i-substitute dito. So 1.5 times 15 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 300 times RO natin is 15 squared divided by 15 squared minus 12 squared. So ilan sagot dito? 1.5 times 15 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 300 times 15 squared divided by 15 squared minus 12 squared. So 5166.67 ang sagot. PSI. So guys, since hindi nakuha sa formula na ganito, STI, so second, ano natin, yung backup formula natin, itong formula ng axial stress. So so guys, ulitin ko, kapag hindi nakuha sa formula ng STI or tensile stress at inner surface, use formula of axial stress instead. So axial stress is equals to PI RI squared minus PO RO squared over RO squared minus RI squared. So use formula of axial stress instead. So PI 1.5 times 15 squared minus 300 times 12 squared divided by 15 squared minus 12 squared. So ang makakuha natin dito guys is, makakuha natin yung sagot na 1833.33 PSI. So ito yung backup formula natin kung sakaling hindi gumana yung STI formula or yung tensile stress at inner surface. So pwede nyong gamitin to. So the answer is letter C. So next, 74. Determine the maximum permissible velocity in a cast iron thin rim of a flywheel if the maximum allowable tensile stress in cast iron is 4,000 PSI. The cast iron weighs 0.255 pounds per cubic inch. So 74. So paano to? So dito cast iron na naman. So pwede siyang yung Dane's formula natin. So Dane's formula dyan. So pag cast iron, velocity is equal to square root ng KST. So K is equals to 10.5 for cast iron. K is equals to 9.5 pag steel. Diba? So substitute natin, V is equals to square root ng, so square root ng 10.5 times, so square root ng 10.5 times tensile stress na 4,000. So lalabas dito is, lalabas dito guys. So lalabas dito na sagot. So 2,460 inches per second. Or hindi pala. Lalabas dito is naka feet per second na lalabas dito guys. So velocity in feet per second. So type natin sa calculator. So square root ng 10.5 times 4,000. So 204.93 or 205 feet per second. So i-times natin ng 12 inches per foot. So makukuha natin dito is 2,460 inches per second. So ginagamit ito sa maximum permissible velocity or also sa bursting speed ng flywheel. So next, 75. The mass of pole piece on an alternator is 10 kg and its center of gravity is at 300 mm from the shaft center. It is secured by 4 bolts and alternator runs at 1000 RPM. What is the diameter of the bolts if the stress in them is not to exceed 40 megapascal? So wala siya kasing sinabi ditong number of pole piece. So number of pole piece dito. So assume number of pole piece. So assume number of pole piece is equals to 20. Dapat given to it. So stress is equals to force over area lang. So force ng bolts divided by area ng bolts. So ang force ng bolt natin, so ilan yan? 10 kg times 9.81 para maging Newton. So para maging Newton, no? Lagyan natin. So times Newton. So times number of bolts pa pala dito sa baba, no? NBAB. So times 20 pole piece. So times 20 number of pole piece divided by number of bolts na 4 times area ng bolts. So pi over 4 times rin yung diameter ng bolts. So ang diameter ng bolt, so yun yung pala hinahanap, diameter ng bolt squared. So equal yan sa stress. So ilan yung stress natin? So ang stress natin dito guys is 40 megapascal. So 40 Newton per mm squared. Maka-cancel si Newton, matitira dito mm squared. So square ng mm squared is mm. So diameter is equal to, so makakuha natin dito is 12.49 mm. So the answer is letter D. So next, 76. A V-belt is 225 cm long and operates on sheaves of pitch diameters of 32 and 40 cm. Compute the center distance. So center distance ng belt, so medyo mahaba tong formula na to, no? So length is equals to pi. So anong gamitin nating formula? So pwede tayong gumamit ng diameter na lang, no? Since diameter naman yung given. So pwede rin namang radius. So, pwedeng ganito na lang. Pi R1 plus R2 plus, so pi R1 plus R2 plus 2C plus R2 minus R1 squared over center distance. So, pwede rin naman ganyan, no? Pwedeng ganyan yung gamitin natin. Or kung gusto nyo diameter ang gamitin natin, so gawin natin itong diameter D1, D2. So, divide lang natin yan ng 2. Then, plus 2C. Ito gawin natin D2, D1. Then, ito is, since divide lang to dapat to, so 1/2 squared is magiging 4 na dito. So, 4C. So, yan ang gamitin nating formula para direct sub na yung mga diameter. So, length is 225 cm is equals to pi. D1 is 40 plus D, or 32 pala, baliktad, 32. D1 is 32. D2 is 40 divided by 2 plus 2 times center distance plus D2 40 minus 32 squared over 4 times center distance. So, center distance, shift solve mo, makakuha mo dyan is, so ilan? Yan to guys. So, 225 pi times 32 plus 40 over 2 plus 2 alpha x plus 40 minus 32 squared over 4 alpha x. So, shift solve 55.8 cm. So, ito na yung sagot, 55.8 centimeters. So, since inches yung doon, so convert natin. So, 1 inch per 2.54 cm. Ma-cancel, magiging, so divide lang natin ng 2.54. So, 21.97. 21.97 inches. So, the answer is letter D. So, next, 77. So, a fixture experiences a static stress of 3,500 psi, dynamic stress of 4,000 psi. The yield strength is 43,000 psi, and the endurance strength is 8,820 psi. The fatigue stress concentration factor is 1.2. What is the approximate alternating stress? So, hinahanap natin dito yung approximate alternating stress. So, alternating stress is equal to 1/2. So, stress max minus stress minimum. So, S max minus S minimum. So, yan yung formula alternating stress, di ba? S max minus S minimum divided by 2. So, syempre, times natin yung fatigue concentration factor kapag meron. So, times 1.2. So, substitute lang. 1/2. So, ilan yung S max natin? 4,000. S minimum, 3,500. So, PSI times 1.2. So, ilan yung makukuha natin dito? So, 300. So, ilan to? So, calculate na natin para sure. 500 divided by 2 times 1.2 is 300 tama. So, 300 PSI. So, i-convert natin to into megapascal. So, 0.101325 megapascal per 14.7 PSI. So, ma-cancel. Matitira dito is 2 megapascal. Letter C. So, next. 78. So, a simple disc clutch has elements with outside and inside the radii of 250 mm and 100 mm respectively. So, the axial force is 1,200 Newton. The coefficient of friction is 0.5. Find the torque capacity based on uniform wear. So, torque natin is equals to nagpa-farm. So, since uniform wear, ang RM natin is equal to RO plus RI over 2. So, direct sub lang to. So, ang N natin is 1 kapag walang given. Then, friction, 0.5. Then, FA natin is 1,200 Newton. Then, ang outside and inside radius. So, 0.25 plus 0.1 divided by 2 meters. So, lalabas dito is 105 Newton to meter. So, pabigay lang tong question na to. Letter A. So, next, 79. What is most nearly the elongation of the aluminum bar of length 2.5 feet, cross-section of 3 cm times 3 cm when loaded to its yield point? So, meron tayong E, elasticity, 69 GPA, yield stress, 255 megapascal. So, neglect the weight of the bar. So, ito, hinahanap lang sa elongation. So, formula elongation or deformation, fillet. So, fillet. So, itong fillet, since itong F over A, yan ay stress. So, magiging stress times L over E. So, ilan yung stress natin, guys? So, ilan yung stress? 255 megapascal. So, Newton per mm squared. Then, ilan yung length natin? So, ang length natin is 2.5 feet. So, i-convert natin to mm to, no? So, times lang natin ng 12 inches per foot. So, times 3 or 25.4 mm per inch. So, para naka-mm na siya, no? Then, divide natin ng E. So, ano yung E natin? 69 GPA. So, 69 gigapascal. So, times 10 raised to 3 para maging megapascal or Newton per mm squared. So, ito is maka-cancel. So, matitira dito is mm. So, ang deformation natin is 2.8 mm. So, next, 80. So, 80, a 350-meter cable is suspended vertically. At any point along the cable, the strain is proportional to the length of the cable below that point. If strain at the top of the cable is 0.0015, determine the elongation of the cable. So, inaanap natin elongation ng cable sa 80. So, gano'n naman elongation. So, alam natin na, so ilan ba? So, meron, hinahanap natin si elongation. So, a 30 suspended. Determine the total elongation ng cable. So, di ba para makuha natin yung strain, so meron tayong given na strain dito. So, strain is equals to deformation over length. So, deformation natin dito, so deformation is equals to strain times length. So, ilan yung strain natin? 0.0015 times length ng cable is 350 meter. So, ilan to, guys? So, 0.0015 times 350. So, sagot is 0.525. So, 0.525 meters. So, ito na yung sagot. So, kaso wala yung sagot sa choices. So, ang magandang gawin natin dito, i-divide natin ng 2. So, ito yung backup plan natin, no? Kapag hindi lumabas yung sagot, it's either divide 2 and multiply by 2 kung saan makukuha yung sagot. So, syempre, pag dinivide natin ng 2, 0.2625. Nakuha. 625 meter. So, sa board exam, gagawin mo lahat ng paraan para makuha yung sagot. Kahit gumamit ka pa ng dahas. So, yun lang. So, okay, next problem. Problem number 81. Which of the following thermite welding procedures produce high temperature? So, sa 81, sagot dyan is an exothermal chemical reaction. So, basta thermite welding, exothermal chemical reaction. So, letter B. So, next, 82. Compute the length of a knot such that the shearing failure of the threads shall equal to the tensile failure load of the bolt when the shearing stress or shearing strength is 72% nung tensile strength. Assume the pitch diameter of threads to be the same as the bolt diameter. So, ito madali lang to, no? So, gagamitin lang natin dyan. So, length is equals to 72% nung diameter ng bolt. So, ganun na yung para makuha natin yan. So, 0.72 diameter ng bolt. Yun na. So, the answer is letter D. So, next, 83. A 2 feet diameter solid disc flywheel weighs 200 pounds and is designed to handle 1,600 foot-to-pounds kinetic energy change. Its upper speed is 40 feet per second. So, find the coefficient of regulation. So, 83. So, hinanap natin dito guys yung coefficient of regulation. So, yung coefficient of regulation parang coefficient of fluctuation din siya, no? So, ano natin dyan? So, CF is equals to, so ang formula CF, so CF is equals to V1 minus V2, pwedeng in terms of velocity, no? V1 minus V2 over V1 plus V2. So, pwedeng ganyan. Then, so, first, kunin muna natin si V2. Meron tayong given na V1, no? So, si V1, so ilan ba si V1 dito? So, si V1 dito, so si V1 is equal to, so 83 to, no? 83, V1 is equals to 40 feet per second. So, di ba, may formula tayo ng kinetic energy, 1/2 mass total times V1 squared minus V2 squared. So, ito mass total to ng flywheel. So, ilan yung given natin kinetic energy? So, dito may correction tayo, no? Hindi yan 1/6. So, ito is 7,600. Correction yan, no? So, 7,600 foot-to-pounds. So, kaya siguro hindi nyo makuha yung sagot, 7,600 dapat yan. 7,600 foot-to-pounds. So, equals 1/2 times total mass is 200 pounds times V1 squared, so 40 feet per second squared. So 40 squared minus V2 squared. So makakuha natin V2 squared dito is in feet per second, no? So V2 natin is 26.23 feet per second. So i-substitute natin para makuha natin yung coefficient of regulation or coefficient of fluctuation. So 2 times 40 minus 26.23 divided by 40 plus 26.23. So makukuha natin dito is 0.416. So ito yung sagot. So the answer is closest to letter C. So next, 84. So sa 84, madali lang to, no? So hinahanap lang yung tooth pressure of gear B. So very easy lang nito dahil so tooth pressure or yung force ng gear B. So tandaan natin ang force ng gear A. So equal lang yan sa force ng gear B. So ang meron tayo dito torque ng ay may Meron tayong given torque ng A. So, shaft A is subjected to 1,000 inches to pound torque. Then, meron tayong diameter ni A, which is, or radius ni A, 4. So, torque A is equals to force A times radius A. So, torque A natin is 1,000 inch to pound is equals to force A times, ilan yung radius natin? So, 4 inches. So, maka-cancel, makakuha natin FA is equal to, so ilan yan? 250 pounds. So, the answer is letter A. So, next problem number 85. A 1 and 3/4 inches diameter shaft is supported by two sleeve bearings. The total load on the two bearings is 2,800 pounds. So what is the frictional force per bearing if the coefficient of friction between shaft and bearing is 0.1 and the shaft rotates at 200 RPM? So hinahanap natin yung force per bearing. So force per bearing, so it is equal to, so force per bearing is equals to yung force na given, so yung total load divided by, so two bearings, so number of bearings. So ilan ba yung total load natin? 2,800 pounds divided by number of bearings is 2. So 1,400 pounds. So yan yung force per bearing natin. So para makuha natin yung frictional force per bearing is equals to, so syempre friction times force per bearing. So ilan yung friction natin? So yung friction natin is 0.10 times 1,400 pounds. So ilan yan? So ang sagot is 140 pounds. So the answer is letter C. So next, 86. So sa 86, the axial force required is 150 Newton when the capacity of the clutch is 8 kilowatt at 500 RPM. So what is the mean diameter of the active conical sections when the cone clutch has an angle of 10 degrees and coefficient of friction of 0.5? So hinahanap natin dito sa number 86 yung mean diameter ng active conical sections. So para makuha natin, so ano siya? Anong klaseng ano siya? Cone clutch. So ang formula ng torque ng cone clutch is equal to, so torque ng cone clutch is equals to magpa-farm over sine ng alpha. So syempre kunin muna natin si torque using power is equals to Tn over factor. So ano yung factor natin dito? So factor natin is 9.549 times 10 raised to 6. So power is, yun yung power natin. So yung power natin dito is 8 kilowatts is equals to torque times N natin na 500 RPM divided by 9.549 times 10 raised to 6. So makuha natin yung torque dito is equals to 152,784 Newton to mm. So substitute natin dito para makuha natin yung sagot. So 152,784 is equals to N. So ilan yung N natin dito? So ang N natin wala, no? So 1 lang. Then friction 0.5. Then yung axial force. So yung axial force natin 150. Then ang mean radius natin, so may given tayong mean diameter. So ay wala tayong mean diameter. So yun yung hinahanap. So mean diameter divided by 2 yan. Divided by sine ng 10 degrees. So makuha natin mean diameter dito is 708, so mm. So the answer is letter D. So next tayo. 87. What horsepower would be transmitted by a short shaft 2 inches in diameter carrying 2 pulleys close to the bearings if the shaft makes 360 RPM? So, paano to? So, short shaft siya. So, may formula tayong ganyan sa short shaft, no? Sa ating lecture sa shafting. So, power is equals to D cube N over 38 kapag short shaft. May empirical formula tayo ng short shaft. So, ang power natin, so power is equals to diameter. So, 2 raised to 3. So, ilan yung N natin dito? So, N natin is 360 RPM divided by 38. So, ang sagot dito is, so, pag kinalculate natin, 76 HP. So, the answer is letter B. The next, 88. So, sa 88, so elements pala to, no? In sulfuric acid, which of the following is suitable for handling acid in concentrations up to 50% and at a temperature including the boiling point? So, ang sagot dito sa 88, letter A, Hastelloy B. So, next, 89. A 100-pound body is being hoisted by a winch. The tension in the hoisting cable being kept constant at 120 pound. Calculate its acceleration. So, para makuha natin yung acceleration dito, so, gagamitin natin formula dito. So, tension is equals to weight times 1 plus acceleration over g. So, ganyan na yung gamitin nating formula, no? So, ilan yung torque? Yung tension natin dito, 120 pounds. So, tension yan, no? Is equals to weight, 100 pounds times 1 plus acceleration divided by 32.2. So, makuha natin acceleration dito is 6.44 feet per second squared. So, next, 90. So, 90, what is the circular pitch of spar gear with clearance of 0.05? So, madali lang to. Para makuha natin yung circular pitch, so, gagamitin natin. So, circular pitch. So, diametral pitch is equals to pi over circular pitch, di ba? So, circular pitch is equals to pi over diametral pitch. So, kunin mo na si diametral pitch. Di ba meron tayong clearance? So, ang formula natin ng clearance kasi, so, di ba may formula tayong clearance is equals to 0.157 over diametral pitch. So, kunin mo na si diametral pitch. So, 0.05 is equals to 0.157 divided by diametral pitch. So, diametral pitch is equals to, so kunin mo na natin. So, 0.157 divided by 0.05. So, 3.14. So, diametral pitch natin is 3.14. So, makuha natin si circular pitch. So, pi over 3.14 is equals to ilan? 1. So, circular pitch is equals to 1. Letter D. So, next, 91. So, what accounts for the backlash of spar gears? So, tandaan nyo, basta backlash, ang sagot dyan, both module and pitch line velocity. So, next, so 92. So, dito, sa 92, hinahanap naman yung torque that must be applied at the free end to twist the rod 5.2 degrees above its longitudinal axis. So, ito hindi to 1/2, no? Degrees dapat yan. So, nagkamali lang siguro sila sa type dyan. So, 5.2 degrees. So, syempre, gagamitin natin formula, yung shortcut formula na lang. Yung theta is equals to 584 TL over D fourth G. So, ilan yung theta natin? 5.2 degrees is equals to 584 torque. So, ano yung torque natin dito? So, yun yung hinahanap si torque. Then, length. So, ang length natin is 0.5 meter length. So 50 centimeter, maging 0.5 meter. Divided by diameter, so 25 over 1,000, so 0.025 meter. Raised to 4 times yung G natin. So ang G is given as 2.8 times 10 raised to 10. So Pascal. So Pascal is Newton per meter squared. So makuha natin torque dito is in Newton to meter. So pag tinype nyo yan, makuha natin is 195 Newton to meter. So the answer is letter D. So next, 93. So malapit na tayo. 93, find the maximum tensile stress caused by an axial load of 500 pounds and a torque of 600 inches to pounds acting on a 1-inch diameter solid shaft. So hinahanap natin dito guys yung yung maximum tensile stress. So guys, para makuha natin si maximum tensile stress, ST max is equals to, ito may formula tayong ganito. Introduce ko lang tong formula na to, no? So tensile stress divided by 2 plus square root ng tensile stress divided by 2 squared plus shear stress squared. So ganyan yung gagamitin natin short, yung formula. So combined tensile at saka shearing to. So combined tensile and shearing. So first, kunin muna natin si tensile. So si tensile stress, makukuha natin using, so si tensile stress, makukuha natin using 16T over pi d cube. So 16 times torque natin na 600 inches to pounds divided by pi times diameter natin na 1 inch raised to 3. So makukuha natin tensile stress dito is, so ilan to? 3,055 PSI. So next, kunin naman natin si shearing stress. So si shearing stress, pwede natin makuha using, or si shearing stress to. Shearing stress yan. So si tensile stress naman, pwede natin makuha using force over area, which is pi over 4d squared. So ilan yung force natin? So force, so 500 pounds divided by pi over 4 times diameter natin na 1 inch squared. So ilan to? 500 divided by pi over 4. So 636.62. 636.62 PSI. So meron na tayo niyan. So substitute na natin siya sa ating main formula. So ST max is equal to, so yung ST natin 636.62 divided by 2 plus square root ng 636.62 over 2 squared plus shear stress 3,055. So kung kinalculate natin yan, so yun ang lalabas. So 636.62 divided by 2 plus square root ng 636.62 over 2 squared plus 3,055 squared din to, no? So 33. So may kulang ba tayo? So over 2 plus, so 636.62 square root ng squared plus so ilan lumabas? 3389.85. So squared to, no? 3389.85 PSI. So ito yung sagot. So the answer is closest to letter B. 3389. So next tayo. So, 94. So, 94 pa pala, no? So, ito is 93. So, kasya kaya dito yung 94. So, 94. Para naulit ata ito 94. So 94. So, stress is equals to 8 kFc may pi diameter ng wire squared. So, substitute lang natin stress, 50,000 pounds. So, 50,000 pounds. So, yung force dito guys, yung force dito is equals to K times deflection. So, substitute lang natin 8. Yung K natin is 4. So, ilan yung C natin? 8 minus 1 over 4 times 8 minus 4 plus 0.615 over 8 times force natin na K. So, ilan yung K natin? 100 pounds times 1 and 1/4 na deflection. So, 1.25 yan. Times C na 8 divided by pi times wire diameter squared. So, pag solve natin, makukuha natin wire diameter as 0.246 inches. So, the answer is letter B. So, next, konti na lang. Problem number 95. So, a body hangs from an ideal spring. What is the frequency of oscillation of the body if its mass is 0.015 kilogram and K is 0.15 Newton per meter? So, ito, palaging lumalabas to, no? Itong frequency of oscillation. So, guys, ang frequency of oscillation kasi, so 95, F is equals to 1 over period. Tandaan nyo, no? 1 over period. So, ilan ba yung period? Ano yung formula ng period natin? So, 2 pi square root ng M over K. So, substitute lang to. So, 1 over 2 pi square root ng M natin, 0.015 over K na 0.50. So, makuha ating frequency is equals to 0.92. So, ang unit ng frequency is hertz. Hertz yung unit niya, no? So, the answer is P. So, next, 96. So, 96. So, inaanap natin dito. So, 96. How many 1 inches diameter bolts are required to secure 2 hubs if the pressure within the vessel is 25 psi? So, inaanap natin dito number of bolts. So, NB. So, number of bolts is equals to total force over force ng bolt. So, total force natin is equals to pressure times area. So, ilan yung pressure natin? 25 psi. So, pounds per inches squared. Then, yung area natin is pi over 4. Diameter, so ilan yung natin? 8 feet. So, 8 feet times 12 inches per foot, per 1 foot. So, squared. So, yan yung area natin. Yan yung total force natin, no? So, ilan to? So, 25 times pi over 4 times 8 times 12 squared. 8 times 12 squared. So, ilan? 57,600 pi. 57,600 pi. Anong unit ito? So, makakonsider itong inches squared, so pounds. So, then yung force ng bolt naman is equal to, so stress times area ng bolts naman. So, ilan yung stress? 15,000 psi, so pounds per inches squared. Then, area ng bolts is given as 0.551 inches squared. So, makancel. So, matitira dito. So, 15,000 times 0.551. 15,000 times 0.551. So, 8265. 8265 pounds. So, makukuha natin number of bolts. So, total force 57,600 pi, then 8265 is equal to, ilan yan? 7,600 pi divided by answer. So 21.89. 21.89, approximately 22 volts. So the answer is letter B. So next, tuloy-tuloy lang. 97. So when more than one spring or resisting member shares the load, the relative stiffness is the, so the answer dito, yan yung kapag resists, so rigidity. So when more than one spring or resisting member shares the load, the relative stiffness is called rigidity. So next, 98. So dito sa 98, hinahanap natin yung spring stress concentration factor. So kunin mo natin dito guys si C. So spring index, mean diameter over wire diameter. Then yung mean diameter, so outside diameter minus wire diameter. So C natin, so outside diameter is 4 cm. So 4 cm times 10 mm per 1 cm. Then minus wire diameter na 5 mm divided by wire diameter na 5 mm. So maka-cancel. Matitira dito. So ilan to? So C natin dito is 7. Then kunin natin yung wall stress factor. So wall stress factor 4C minus 1 over 4C minus 4 plus 0.615 over C. So ilan to? 4 times 7 minus 1 over 4 times 7 minus 4 plus 0.615 over 7. So makuha natin wall stress factor is 1.213. The answer is letter A. So next, last two problems, 99. So a double-threaded right-handed worm gear transmits 15 HP at 150 RPM. So the pitch of the worm is 3/4 inches and the pitch diameter of 3 inches. The pressure angle is given as 14.5 yan. So 14.5 yan guys. So and the coefficient of friction is 0.12. So compute for the tangential force on the worm and express the answer in pounds. So itong 99, simple problem lang to, no? Hinahanap lang natin dito yung tangential force. So syempre, kunin muna natin yung torque. So power is equals to Tn over factor. So factor natin is 63025. So substitute natin. So power is 15 HP is equals to torque times N natin na 1150 RPM divided by 63025. So makukuha natin torque dito is 822 inches to pounds. So torque is equals to force times radius. So ito yung tangential force ng worm, itong force na to. So torque is 822 inches to pounds is equals to force times radius natin na. So ilan yung radius? So 3 diameter divided by 2 para maging radius. So force is equals to 548 pounds. So the answer is letter D. So for our last problem, number 100, so hinahanap dito yung force required to punch a 25 mm hole in a 20 gauge. So steel plate if the shearing strength of the material is 400 meganewton per meter squared. So megapascal. So megapascal yan. So 'di ba ang stress natin kapag punching, so force over area where area is equals to pi dt. So pi dt kapag punching. So stress natin is equals to 400 megapascal. So megapascal is Newton per mm squared. So megapascal kasi to meganewton per meter squared. So pwedeng Newton per mm squared yan. Is equals to force over So, force over pi times diameter natin na 25 mm times thickness. So, ang thickness natin dito guys, ito, itong given, 0.9525 mm. So, makancel ang mm. Matitira dito, force in Newton. So, ang force in Newton dito, so shift solve natin. 400 multiplied by pi multiplied by 25 multiplied by 0.9525. So, 29,923.67. 29,923.67 Newton. So, equals yan sa 29.9 kilonewton. So, the answer is letter A.